Did I, 27M, discover my wife cheating on accident, 26F. Reposting because I still don't know how to use Reddit. Too long did not read. Accidentally might have caught my wife cheating. Not sure what to do. I've noticed that my wife has been acting a bit weird lately. Not too much, just subtle differences from the norm. We were visiting family over the weekend and I noticed her texting a number that wasn't saved. Which was weird because all her friends are saved on her phone. I asked her about it a couple times and she just said she was texting her friend about something. I didn't think much about it because she's my wife and I trust her. I then saw her another time later that weekend texting this same phone number and then noticed she started titling her phone away so I couldn't see what she was doing. I found this odd but again didn't think much about it. A day or two later she was charging her watch in our bathroom and I remembered that she was being weird about her phone, so anxiety got the best of me and started looking through her watch. I quickly found that indeed she was texting someone with their contacts saved. The few messages I saw weren't concerning per se, but it was in the matter they were said. It reminded me of all the times I was a teenage boy and I started talking to a new girl I was interested in. The polite, almost flirty get-to-know-you type of questions. There is no other way of describing these texts, so I assumed it was a guy because I know for a fact my wife does not have a sexual desire for women. I've just noticed her do small weird things like hiding her phone or putting it under her pillow when she sleeps. Fast forward to today and she left her watch at home on her way to work. I thought this was my chance to kind of snoop through it and ease my mind. Except for she came back for her phone 10 minutes later despite it making her late. This made me freak out because my wife has never come back for her watch if she accidentally left it. In that moment I didn't know what to do and thought the worst. So I logged onto our phone provider and looked up our phone bill. I memorized the number and relaxed when I noticed it wasn't anywhere on last month's bill. Out of curiosity at that point I looked at the current month usage and almost threw up. My wife has received an average of 600 texts a month the last 6 months. This month, halfway through our cycle, she sent 6,500 into this number. There are hour-long phone calls as well. I'm not sure what to do right now. I don't have solid proof that she's cheating, but also I don't not have it either. I'm scared to confront her because I love her and we have a happy, so I thought, marriage. I'm also worried it's something innocent and would totally ruin our trust. I also have all of her friends' numbers and it doesn't belong to any of them. I know for a fact that she hasn't made any new friends recently, especially one that she would be having this much communication with. I feel so sick and don't know what to do. Once you take those rose-tinted glasses off, you are going to realize your marriage isn't as great as you think. Open and honest communication is the way forward. You don't have to accuse her to get the answers as to who this number is. Tell her you are upset and confused about her behavior and the phone bill and you need her to clarify. Make it a serious, I need to talk to you about something, chat if it helps. If she doesn't tell you, then that tells you all you need to know and you need to decide what your next move is. Try calling the number from someone else's phone and see who it is. And then ask them WTF. Reverse, look up the number? There are e-services that might be able to get you details. My M24 girlfriend, F23, sleeps with other guys and sees nothing wrong with it. I, M24, and my girlfriend, F23, have been seeing each other for about a year now, but have known of each other for many years. I could go on and on about disagreements we have with each other until this post is a novel, but usually we find a middle ground and we do what we can to love and support each other through everything. Now, she has a lot of guy friends. To me this is fine. I wouldn't wish to restrict her from having friends of any gender or anything, and certainly not if she's already been friends with them before we were together. However, one thing I very much don't agree with is her view on sleeping over these guys' houses. To me this is a very intimate experience and it makes me uncomfortable, but I reluctantly allowed it as long as it was someone she's been friends with her whole life and if she would introduce me to them. She has yet to introduce me to any of her guy friends. However, last night she tells me she's sleeping over her close guy friend's house, and although I previously permitted it, I still felt uncomfortable, and asked, "Where do you sleep when you're at his house?" And she responds, "What do you mean?" "In his room." I asked, "Where in his room?" To which she responded, "In his bed." "Okay, where does he sleep?" "In the bed. So you guys sleep in the bed together?" "Yeah, what's the issue?" I expressed how much this was an issue to me and she basically said, "Well, sorry you didn't make that clear." In my eyes, I shouldn't have to make that clear. If you're in a relationship you don't sleep in another guy's bed. Period. She basically sheepishly apologized, but it didn't matter because she went and slept with him anyway. I don't want to go as far as calling her a cheater, but this whole situation makes me feel incredibly icky and I'm considering ending the relationship. I'd kind of like to hear some thoughts on this situation. Sounds like someone who likes to tread on your boundaries and play funny games. No one is that naive. I'd reevaluate if that's someone you want to share your own bed with. You're considering ending the relationship? My friend, there is no relationship to end. Just move on. I hope at some point, sooner than later, you manage to locate some shred of self-respect and dump her ass. Do you think you can't find someone who treats you decently and with respect, or do you think that little of yourself? Dude, she is letting you she is cheating. Do you honestly think she is sleeping in their beds? I, 21F, am engaged to fiance, 26M, and can't stop crying over stupid details. My fiance, 26M, and I, 21F, have been engaged for about 2 months now. He proposed casually in our living room right after I walked out of the bathroom. I initially said yes because I'm pretty sure I want to marry him and was excited. But now I can't stop crying over my proposal. When I had a feeling it was coming, I only asked one thing: do not propose in the house. I didn't care whether it was some huge grand gesture or just done while on a walk in the park nearby. I didn't care what it actually was, just not in the house. About 2 weeks ago I talked with him about how I was disappointed in the proposal for being in the house. We had just been out on a great adventure through downtown and to a cute little pub and had a great time. He could have very easily done it then. He said he left the ring in the car, which I understand. But I don't believe it would have been that hard to go to the car and grab it, or to wait till another time. He has offered to re-propose, but I honestly don't see a point. There is no getting that moment back, and I will always know that the second proposal was only done because I asked for it. I don't know what to do anymore. I would get sad every time I thought about the proposal or looked at my ring, but today it came to a head. I couldn't put my ring back on after my shower because I just looked at it and broke down. I tried again after I had calmed down, but as soon as I went to grab it off the counter I was sobbing again. I don't want to cry every time I think of what should have been a special happy moment. I know there's no changing what happened, but I don't feel I can get over this. I know this isn't something to end the relationship over, but I am just so lost right now. Deep down you know that marrying this guy will be a mistake. Reading your comments, he just sounds awful, and only proposed due to family pressure. You can't even trust him to care for your child properly on his own. 2 questions. How long have you been dating? Is this kind of behavior out of character for him, or is this part of a bigger pattern? Lame proposal. Especially given your request. I'm not super romantic by nature, but I was smart enough to ask my wife how she wanted to be proposed to. I can't speak to pretty sure, you should be sure, or very sure, before accepting a proposal of marriage. But it's your life. Fundamentally this is not about the proposal, or the ring. It's about his disregard for your preference and perceived lack of effort in the relationship. I personally wouldn't be impressed with your fiancé's behavior. Definitely warrants a conversation. Do not get married. Break the engagement. Get yourself into therapy. So you got a lame and useless proposal from a lame and useless man. Your fault here is expecting anything other than uselessness out of somebody who has proven to be nothing other than that. Do yourself and your child a favor and have higher standards for who you share your life with. This man will do nothing other than make you unhappy, overworked, and alone. He, M28, doesn't plan to spend my birthday with me, F29. And I feel sad. Next month is my birthday and my boyfriend will not be present for that day. He is working very hard lately and he'll be working that day. It's okay if he is not available that day, but the problem is he took a day off last week for another event for his friend's kid, but he doesn't have the intention to do the same for me, so I feel sad and jealous. We talked about it, but he quickly became upset and he tried to explain why it's not the same with that previous event, but I don't understand. He said it's because it was before rush at work during that kid's party and my birthday is not so soon and will be on a weekend, so he doesn't want to tell his boss he won't be at work that day because he is not certain he'll be working. Also, he never told that he wanted to be with me. He just said he will probably work that day when I asked him if we are going to be together that day. He seems to not understand why it's important to me and why I don't understand why I took a day off so easily for his friend and not for me. I feel selfish for telling him I wanted to be with him, but I'm offended he didn't even think about be with me for my birthday. What do you think? Edit. Oh boy, I understand what work is and I didn't even ask him to have a day off for me. Some of you have a very toxic work culture. Please don't share here. English is not my first language. I might not be clear in my messages and I'm sorry. Honestly, it sounds like you're overstating things. He doesn't intend to choose work over you, or his friend over you. He doesn't even know for certain yet that he'll be working that day, but he's assuming he will be because it's his busy season. It sounds like he took time off for the other event during a slow period at work, but that's over now. Crush seasons can happen with work. And in many places taking time off during that period can be a major setback both in workload and reputation. If he's not available on your birthday, just celebrate on a day he's free. I think you need to stop comparing both incidents. The friend's event was at a low period, but he has indicated it is peak season. Maybe have a quick breakfast or something with him, as I am not sure if he is working long hours, or defer it to later in the month. Additionally, you need to decide if you're compatible. Maybe birthdays are not important to him. Honestly, I only celebrate my kid's birthday as he is a minor. Adult birthdays are not a priority for me and we can do that any other time. My significant other and I have that understanding. In fact, I will be working on my birthday as I consider it a normal day. I sympathize with you. I'm European and birthdays are different than in the US. In the US, work is glorified and so people won't expect your boyfriend to take the day for you. Yet he did so for his friend's kid? Is the kid his? Anyway, yeah, you voiced your opinion to him and he got angry. This is where the problem lies. He got angry for you asking him a favor. Do you really want a boyfriend like that? I've never taken the day off for my birthday or a partner's birthday. Just go to dinner or an event after work. I had a solo vacation planned for my B-day, but I had to cancel due to a hurricane. Birthdays are very special to me. My boyfriend, who works 7 days a week, made sure I had a birthday I would enjoy because he knew it meant a lot. We went to a haunted house and dinner. I understand work is busy, especially during year-end, but him not finding time to make you feel special hurts. Have fun by yourself or with friends and then figure out if it's a deal-breaker.